backed by popular demands. Martha Boneta of Eminent Domain fame. Martha, 2 days in a row. Great to have you.
Good morning. Good morning. You know, John, I heard a little birdie tell me that you may have just expanded your audience. Is that so?
We're working on it. And,
yeah, it's exciting news because I have to tell you, what you just said is very true. I mean, you people might not like what you have to say sometimes, but it's the truth. And you know, you've been right on everything from Donald Trump becoming president to various other, you know, candidates and races. You know, we have a problem. You know, we have the House, we have the Senate, we have the White House, and, you know, Americans were promised 7 years, Obamacare repeal. They've been promised a wall. They've been promised real tax reform. They've been promised all kinds of things. And this, John, I think you're right. This could really be what it takes to really splinter and destroy the party. And I'm with you on that. I really believe that this could be it.
And again, nothing's done, right? It's all talk.
Right.
And Martha, sometimes what the president does, he'll toss the stuff out there and see what the reaction is. So if you want to stop it, the reaction should not be vanilla, right? Because as a Trump supporter, look,
and, you know, he made it very clear, you know, over and over again, look, no deal has been made. I mean, he's making that very clear. You know, that no deal has been made, and everybody needs to calm down because no deal has been made. And, you know, I think that, and then, of course, Bannon, you know, what did he have his headline story read? Amnesty Dawn. You know, Steve Bannon's not happy over at Breitbart. And you know, he's making that well known. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, again, you know, he says no deal's been made. This is just right now preliminary banter, and that folks shouldn't be getting
it could be negotiation.
You know,
but
upset
one thing
about
I
it.
don't like is he did say, getting on Air Force One today at 8:13, he did say to one of the pool reporters covering that, when asked about if the wall was part of his massive border security, the president did say, quote, the wall will come later. And this and lies, you know, we have been screwed and lied to so many times. It's always going to come later. It's always the next bill. It's always the next hill to die on. It's always the next round. It's always the next something. And, you know, the people that believe in the Trump movement are tired of that. We've been told that for 7 years. It's going to be the next one. I don't want the next one. I want it now. We have a Republican Congress. We have a Republican president. We have our guy in there. We have everything we want. I don't want to wait. Because you know what? There'll be no tomorrow. There'll be no wall. Then it'll be something else. And it'll be something else after that. And what's the pressure to act on DACA? There's no pressure. These people broke the law. They're here illegally. Their parents are illegal. Nobody had an adult conversation and said, hey, child, I brought you here illegally. I broke U.S. law. You know what? We got a problem. We got to figure this out. No, they just said, the government will provide us with amnesty, just like we always do. Right? So, look.
And that's the definition of amnesty, is the forgiveness. It's the forgiveness of, you know, an illegal act, a pardon. That's what it is. And you know, let's not be mistaken with colorful language. That's what it is. And, you know, as far as, you know, millions and millions of Americans, you're going to see, you know, betrayed voters, betrayed Americans that feel like they've been let down and promised over and over again that what the campaign promises are not being kept, John, and it's going to be horrific. I mean, are we going to start trusting Schumer and Pelosi now with the future of our country? Is that what's happening with all of these deals that are being made?
Well, look, I don't know. You know, that is a good question. I don't mind working with the Democrats to get what you want.
I don't either.
Obviously, you're going to have to give them something because they run the government. Everybody knows that. So we're going to have to give them something. But you can't give them the wall. You just can't do that. And so they're going to have to figure this out. I don't know how this plays in the end, Martha. But, you know, I think as a Trump supporter, I'm willing to go with amnesty. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm willing to go with it for the 690,000 people that are here now. I'm not willing to go with it going forward because then you just perpetuate the crazy incentive to come to the country illegally with a child. So that's stupid. I would never support that. If I can get a wall. If I can't get a wall, there's no way I would be in favor of this. It's insane. And the pressure is self-induced. Like I've been saying this on CNN for a week. Congress doesn't have to do anything. Trump ended the program. It's over. Done. Gone.
Right.
It's
That's right.
out of business. DACA's out of business. Don't do anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's given Congress, 6 months? Is that right? Didn't he say that he's given Congress 6 months to pass legislation preserving the provisions before the program was terminated?
Right. I mean, I'm just saying that the president is going down a very dangerous path if we're going to get amnesty on DACA without a wall, and then he tries to tell us that it's going to come down the road. Corey in Danville says, if we don't build it now, it will never be built. Precisely. That's the whole thing. Precisely. John in Yorktown texted and says, Trump has been corrupted by the swamp. He has already stated his support for congressional action on DACA, and that means he'll sign a DACA amnesty bill. He will also abandon the wall. I am done with him. John in Yorktown. Therein lies the problem. John is representative of Trump voters that if you get amnesty with no wall, they're going to be pissed beyond belief.
That's right.
And so, look, we'll see how it plays out. Martha, let's get to the beauty pageant the other day. It's kind of not been covered. What happened there?
Of course, everything is so politicized now, right? I mean, everything. And, what you eat for breakfast now becomes a political conversation. And what happened is that we had, we had the Miss America pageant. And, Donald Trump used to be an investor. He used to run like the universe pageants, like the Miss Universe pageants and so forth. And, there was a big falling out during the campaign after the Hollywood video was released. And, but in any event, they've taken the opportunity, and by they, I say, those that don't believe in the American dream and want to advance liberty and prosperity for all, they've taken the opportunity to use the Miss America pageant as a disgusting display of politics. And I understand some would say, well, Martha, the Miss America pageant has always been a display of politics. Not really. Not like this. And it ended up, involving, attacks on President Trump, attacks on our administration, and it was really sickening. I mean, the idea behind the Miss America pageant was supposed to be to, empower young women to do great things, to do a lot of, community service, volunteerism, promoting American values and so forth. And it's been warped into an opportunity for, political mudslinging.
It's kind of unbelievable what all this has turned into. Let's talk about this ESPN analyst the other day tweeting out that the president is a white supremacist and a racist. Now, here is a person on ESPN. They're supposed to be talking about football, baseball, basketball, and tennis. Could you imagine if a conservative was on ESPN and had tweeted out that Hillary was a crook and a jailbird and a felon and belongs in prison? What do you think would have happened to that individual?
Oh, fired immediately. Had there been muddied and dirtied all over the news, they would have just been ostracized and put out on the curb. It would have been absolutely atrocious, and I can't. The standards aren't fair, because if you're a conservative, if you're a Republican, then you have your own. There's one set of rules, and if you're left of center, a Democrat, then there's no set of rules, and it's unfair, and that's just the way things have become. But I think we need to fight back. The Hill published an article with the ESPN anchor that called Trump racist should be fired. I couldn't agree more. Part of the problem is that the laws in our country are such that if you're a public figure, whether you're a politician or you're a Hollywood actor or whatever the case may be, Basically, the law says, and again, I'm just making this as easy in a nutshell as possible, that you've held yourself out there for criticism by becoming a public figure. So basically, you can call a Hollywood actor any number of names, and our president is open to that too. But it's become such easy sport now. It's all over the news. Our sports arenas are now being used as forms for political engagement. Right. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's crazy, the whole thing that's going on. And, you mentioned earlier Breitbart News. The headline on Breitbart today, Martha Boneta, they're labeling President Trump as Amnesty Don after Democratic leaders said Trump agreed to work a deal to protect these young undocumented immigrants from deportation with some sort of amnesty without the wall. The website gave Trump the label Amnesty Don. Its headline today, if you go there, you'll see it. It went viral. And in the article, which I did read a little bit earlier today, they accuse Trump of a full-fledged cave on the issue of giving amnesty to the 690,000. They say 800. It isn't. It's 690 illegal aliens are currently protected by an Obama-created executive immigration program. The label Amnesty Don was previously utilized by MSNBC's Joe Scarborough some time back. So this thing, it's not going away. And I don't know who's advising the president or what his thinking is here, but the optics of this, which is I'll make a deal with the Democrats, I'll give amnesty, I'll give away the wall, I'll get nothing in return, is very troubling. What he should be saying is, look, I will deal with you with DACA, but I need a wall. And if the Democrats say, no wall, walk away, don't do anything, don't do squat. You don't have to do anything. He ended the program.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's why it's crazy. Am I right?
Well, I think that the problem is that, the American public is frustrated. They're angry. We're on the heels of losing Obamacare repeal. There's frustration over having real tax reform. And what are we hearing? Oh, don't worry about it. It's kind of like what Pelosi said. We have to pass it to figure out what's in it. I mean, does anybody have anything in writing that we can look at to understand what's going on? No, there's nothing. And there's frustration there. I mean, it's like reading tea leaves. I mean, there's nothing being presented in print that the American people can sink their teeth in and look at and understand. And it's just, things are going to start to unwind very quickly if they haven't already.
All right, we're out of time. I want to thank Martha Boneta for being with us. Martha, if people want to follow you and they want more information, where do they go?
On Twitter, it's at ParisBarnes.com, or at Paris Barnes. Just Google Martha Boneta. I'm also on Facebook, Paris Barnes. That's the name of our farm store, Martha Boneta. And then please email me. I get about 500 emails a day now, and I read every single one of them. And it's just Martha@MarthaBoneta.com. And people can reach me as well at 571-839-1143. I look forward to talking to you more, John. I'm a big fan of yours and really appreciate everything you do.
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun, and we'll talk a little bit later on today. We got a lot going on. You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network.